Let the designers of Kitty's clothes dream 'em up. Mary and her iron right are ready for anything. Other garments that have always been a chore on the ironing board have been Mary's own wash dresses, requiring up to 15 minutes work on each. Here again, there are many styles, but a method for doing each will quickly suggest itself. If the sleeves have gathers at the top, they may be placed over the point of the shoe, pulled out, and ironed from the fullness down to the bottom of the sleeve. If there is a cuff on the sleeve, Mary uses the pressing action to dry it thoroughly. The shoulder seam can be ironed double on the end of the shoe, or if the dress is made with a large enough opening for the neckline, the shoulder can be placed on the end of the forming board singly and ironed without creasing. When the waist is open to the belt, Mary irons the fronts separately, placing the garment on the forming board and doing one front on one end of the shoe and the other front on the opposite end. When the dress is fitted at the waist, making for a small waistline, Mary irons the underarm seam first by placing the dress doubled on the forming board and ironing for about 4 inches from the seam toward the center of the dress. She later misses this iron section when ironing the body of the dress. Now Mary irons the hem to ensure an even hemline. She puts the body of the dress over the shoe and forming board exactly as she used to do with her ironing board. Throughout iron right operations, nearly all moves are familiar to hand ironers, only they are much easier and faster. If the dress is longer, as in the case of a house coat, she does the top first, then slips the ironed portion off the end of the shoe and irons around the lower part of the skirt. She has learned to always put the wrong side of the material down. This brings out the design in printed patterns and imparts a better finish to all synthetic materials. Men's shorts are a cinch. She takes the crotch seam and brings it back to pull one leg inside of the other. She slips them over the shoe and irons on around. When the material starts to wrinkle, she raises the roll, straightens and rearranges the material, and continues until the finish. This job often takes no more than a few seconds. Men's wash slacks are no trouble either. She first irons the pockets, then over the open end of the shoe, she irons the top from the fly on around the pocket to the middle of the seat. She then irons the other side the same way on the other end of the shoe. Slacks with pleats in front can be ironed by placing the front on the end of the shoe and ironing with the pleat from the top of the trouser down to the bottom of the fly opening. Now she lines up the seams in the trouser leg and feeds the cuff in first, ironing to the crotch. Then, retaining her hold on the leg, she slides the slacks to the open end of the shoe and continues up the crease to the top of the trouser. She turns the leg over and repeats this on the other side, using the left knee control frequently to dry out damp seams. The head man can look sharp anywhere, anytime now. His wash slacks are no longer a problem. Wool slacks or trousers offer no problem either. Here is something you can't even wash, but Iron Right presses them beautifully merely by placing a strip of wrapping paper between the shoe and the material. Curtains, ruffled curtains, are a real project for the hand ironer. Big double curtains take up to an hour apiece on the ironing board. This is how Mary Jones does big ruffled curtains in less than 15 minutes. The ruffles should be ironed first, and with them, Mary easily slips into the restful iron-right rhythm. She inserts the ruffle at a slant over the end of the shoe and lets the ruffle run off naturally, ironing a small section at a time. This is where the points at either end of the iron-right shoe can really be appreciated. Part of the ruffle should be done on one open end and the remainder on the other. By feeding the ruffle at a slant, the shoe point runs directly into the ruffle to the seam, exactly as in ironing by hand, but without any weightlifting. It is one of the things that really sold Mary on iron-right. These points get into all hard-to-reach places, all pleats, yokes, ruffles. With ordinary ironers, the user normally has to finish these by hand. The body of the curtain is ironed with the ironed ruffles extending over the ends of the forming board and shoe. Regardless of the width, the curtain can be ironed in sections until it is done. Regular flat work, upon which Mary Jones first started to practice when she first got her iron right, is no trouble at all. Sheets, as large as they come, Mary irons by folding lengthwise and ironing down the selvage edge from the wide hem to the small hem. She keeps the material taut and straight by placing her fingers between the edges while ironing the length of the sheet. To avoid wrinkling, she raises the roll and shakes the sheet out when loose material gathers. After running the selvage edge through, she takes the sheet out of the ironer and lays it in her lap in this manner. She then feeds the small hem end in and irons the other selvage. The ironing continues until the sheet is folded in 4 and passed through for the 4th and last time. A smooth iron-right iron sheet like this is a sure cure for insomnia. Because of iron-right's 2 open ends, large linen tablecloths can be ironed singly with no creases, especially embroidered cloths. Large lace tablecloths are ironed singly with the pattern or raised side placed next to the roll. With other ironers, it is almost impossible to iron the center of a cloth like this without creasing it, and creases will soon ruin it. And so it goes. Try to stump iron right? It can't be done. From pillowcases to napkins to frilly dresses, lingerie, the most fragile nightgowns, little girls' clothes, little boys' clothes, clothes of all kinds for big girls and big boys, ruffles by the hundreds, knife pleats by the dozen. There's nothing hard for iron right, nothing that iron right can't do faster and better. Besides all its other accomplishments, iron right can be used to steam velvet with the aid of a moistened towel over the shoe. Mary Jones has found that all the features of iron right spell convenience and ease of operation, the end of ironing drudgery. The 2 identical usable open ends, she couldn't do without them. The tilt-up forming board that makes arranging any garment easy. The 2 shoe points that made it possible for Mary to throw her hand iron away. The heat-holding under-roll cast iron shoe sends the heat directly up into the garment and not into the user's face. The 2 simple adjustable knee controls that leave your hands free to guide the material. The new overall streamlined styling with satin finish and rounded corners that can't catch garmishly for use with Iron Right ironers. It ensures perfect seating posture and comfort and adjusts itself automatically as you change positions. 3 styles to choose from. Model 80, designed for the home laundry. Model 85, a smart unit for any homemaker's kitchen with baked enamel finished hood that is a worktop area when closed. The cabinet model in either mahogany or honey finish hardwoods. A piece of furniture that will fit into the decor of almost any room in the house. But regardless of the model, the Iron Right is the same soundly engineered, time-tested appliance, built by a company that has always devoted all of its attention to the production of Iron Right. It is the unique appliance that crosses out the last stand of old-fashioned drudgery in the lives of American women. Yes, Mary Jones has a lot more to look forward to than had her grandmother. Grandmother's flat iron has been retired now, and so has its lineal descendants. Mary's health, her look, her disposition are safe for a long, long time, since ironing has become a pleasure, a form of relaxation with Iron Right.